Hello, Warriors. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Alexander, Jeff. You're welcome, Jeff. I'll start with the dollar today. Hi, Brock, Scott, Hugo, how's it going? Sinatra, SH, how are you? LZ, how are you? Okay, let's take a look around. We'll start off looking at Dixie. So last week, we broke out over this 93.19 area, which, forecasted that it would happen because too many people got beared up. So we shook out the dollar bears. And it's my contention that this may have been a top. Hello, Arena. Shorted it Friday. To confirm that it's going to be a top, we need to negate this little breakout, make it a false breakout under 93.18. And I think we're in one of these positions here, even if the Dixie makes one more move, because I believe it did confirm, on the 4 hour, that, I've heard Greg talk about it, that if whether you're long-term, if you're long-term bear in the dollar and you're looking for things like 85, or you're just looking for a correction, which I think is a possibility. My mind is open to it. But, the first step would be to negate this little breakout here. We could have another high, but I think even if we have another high, I'm looking for the dollar to now enter a corrective phase that could take it all the way back down towards maybe even the 91 level down here. Okay, so I'm looking for, which should be supportive for precious metals. They're up today. Silver having a good day after closing kind of weak. So we'll see. Okay, well, congratulations on that, LZ. So it should also, support equities. We're not quite at new highs in either NASDAQ or S&Ps. You can tell here, I have all the, right now the S&Ps are playing around with the 78.6 level, but the technical case for a new high was that this was just an ABC. This was 3 waves before we started moving again. So let's see what happens. The S&Ps may not make a new high, whereas the NASDAQ, it's only 50 points away. And the NASDAQ will not confirm on the daily for the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be the 5th time if we make new highs. This wedge line comes in right around 53-ish. So that'd be another 150 higher on that. So, looking at that, a weaker dollar should be supportive, like it is in the metals. One trade I took last night that I'm out of already was right here in the crude down here. We had a nice little divergence here, and it's amazing. You could use a level. So I talked about being long with a reverse out stop under the breakdown, and you never took heed. Say you're long and you lost a buck here, but you reversed instead of just getting out on the breakdown of the triangle. I mean, you had it back in a heartbeat plus, right? Okay. Now I think we're going to rally back towards this breakdown, and that there's another sell to the downside after that. So Scott saw the call. So I'm flat already, couple hundred pips in it. So I think we're going to work our way back here. A weaker, if the dollar sells off, that should help. The one currency I'm having a hard time figuring out is the yen. I expect that it probably does not take out the high from here last week, and then we're just going to maybe fail up here between 1030 or so. gold's doing pretty good. The alternative case is that on the weekly, you have a one drive, two drive, and we're going to get one more. And that would imply higher yields. And I'm kind of neutral, long-term constructive, but kind of neutral here. They should head up. I mean, there's no flight to quality happening yet. I think that if they do start heading up, if there is, and I still believe that we're topping in the S&Ps and NASDAQ. Okay, so if that happens and we finally get a risk off move, it's hard to be real bullish about higher yields. Okay, so you think it could go for 111, and that's a possibility. You have a good eye, LZ. That on the weekly, you could see it right here, right? You have one, you have two, and maybe one more shot up. And this would imply higher yields, and maybe we get a break in gold. I've seen some counts where, gold heads up towards 1830 first, back up here before we get a correction. I'd like to buy gold down here now. I never thought of buying gold after this candle. And then, we started doing this and just grinding higher. And from my research, this has been, I think, if we go one more time, a 5-wave advance. So this could have been the bottom here in both gold and silver last week, especially if the dollar rolls over and negates a breakout here. I mean, a weaker dollar, I don't think is going to hurt what's already happening in the metals right now, but I can't chase it. I like the 1750, 40 range for long gold. And part of the reason I think that it might happen still is when you look at some of the gold shares. Bullion's been way outperforming the gold shares, and there was nothing Friday to tell you to buy Yamana, right? Yeah, it's close to a low, but it's not doing anything right. Should have a nice pop here, but still looks like it might be able to make another new low. Here's the opening gap that we're going to have on GDX. It almost got to this speed line, and there was really nothing in Newmont, which is supposed to be best of breed, that told you to buy metals last week, right? So the shares are lagging.
Hey,
so go ahead, buddy.
I'm sorry. Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm sorry. I was just looking, and we don't have today. We don't have Vixologist on today, do we?
No.
You know what? I'm gonna have to just continue on. I think we tweeted out the wrong information. I think we retweeted.
Yeah, it's Nargis 007.
Got it. That's okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right.
Buddy.
I'll be back in just one moment. And good morning, everybody. Sorry, I'm just going to try to handle this really quick. I was just looking at our lineup this week. I'm like, hey, that's last week's lineup.
Yeah, that's probably what it has. Yeah, he was last Monday.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. And I'm going to talk about the dollar because we're recovering, and I think the dollar might be done pulling back this morning. So I'll be back.
Well, it sure held where it had to.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. It sure has. I'll be right back.
Okay, Blake. So crypto keeps flying. We're not confirming this move now on the 4-hour on Bitcoin. See this? I mean, we've been diverging for a while. It's due. I think we'll have at least one pullback before we make new highs over 60,000. So maybe this is a week we get some kind of pullback, maybe to 38 or so. But, I look back at this and I made a long call on Bitcoin off this breakout. And I thought it would just be a bear market rally. I didn't know. Although, the rule for wedges are it can retrace 100%. But, even though I talk about a lot of things, I can't trade everything. I don't have the capacity to just have crypto on and currencies on and metals on and indexes on and everything on. So, I try and, concentrate on a few for trading, even though I look at everything. And that may not be a bad thing for others to do too, instead of trying to be a portfolio trader. I think it takes a real special person to, be able to have, 10 different positions on in different asset classes, and really, unless you're automated, but if you're a discretionary trader, it takes a certain special skill that I don't have. Okay. Thank you, Scott. So Scott's seen something there too, for a possible pullback. And Blake should be back here after he corrects the
Yeah,
tweet.
I'm here. You know what, Coach? Can you do me a favor? Can you jump on? You might want to check with your guest today and make sure you tweet about it.
She already contacted me. But I will. I'll tweet to her and say we just posted it the wrong one.
Yeah. I just had the team delete those, and anyway, we got to get the right information out.
Yeah, good
hello
catch.
Monday on a weekend or August week. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to take over from here. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you. Let me go ahead and grab everything.
And happy I hope everybody's belated birthday to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much.
Leandro and I recorded a song. Did you get it?
I didn't get.
He didn't want to send it then. Okay. All right, go ahead.
What? No. I got one. The one that he did, but that wasn't a birthday. Well, I don't know. It's in Spanish, so how I wouldn't know. Anyway,
that's Leandro, happy birthday, you bastard.
Thank you.
In Portuguese.
That's what it said is in Spanish. Probably. Yeah. If you guys don't know this, Leandro and Dale, both musicians, and they're really good at you guys have some vocal cords, so
Leandro's really good, man.
Yeah, he is, man. He's like
he could be awesome. A movie star. Yeah.
All right. So hey, we're gonna hit up the markets a little bit here ahead of Jackson Hole. Now let me go ahead and I'm gonna repeat a little bit of what I said about the dollar index on the week ahead video, because if you guys watched the week ahead video, you knew that hey, the dollar was a little overbought. We're going to correct, and we looked to correct right to the wedge support. So this is where, if you watched the video, yesterday that we filmed over the weekend, this is where the dollar should stop. I mean, this is the dollar index, and this is the previous wedge. This is the bullish wedge. And as I said in the week ahead video, I'm going to get bearish the dollar when or if we break back below this 93.80 or 92.80, 92.85. It depends where we're at by the time we get down here. But this is the wedge that I thought we'd come back and test, and it is a 38% retracement. So I would expect the dollar to find some support around here ahead of Jackson Hole. I mean, remember, we were getting pretty overbought in the dollar. It's been a great ride for, those of us that have been, playing the dollar on the long side, for the last couple of weeks. It's been great. And you brought up the yen, or Dale brought up the yen, and I have to talk a little bit about the yen too, because I think it's really important where we're at in the yen pairs. And so we'll discuss that here in a moment. But let's talk the dollar a little bit longer term, because as I discussed on the week ahead video, we closed at breakout. This is the big breakout right here at 93. It was 93.40, right? Or 50. And I thought we could come down to the previous wedge, which would be 93.20. That's where we're at right now. Now, where we close at this week is going to be really important. Remember, a week is, and we still have a long, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I want to hit the delete button. I'm going to pull up this wedge, and I'm going to delete these little trend lines, because we knew we came out of this bullish wedge on Thursday, Friday. We knew there was going to be a pullback. So that now there's a pullback to the 38% retracement. So as a wedge, it met this is its minimum. Let me go back and draw that again, just so you guys can see it. So when you come out of a wedge, right, like this, the minimum expectations coming out of a wedge is a 38% retracement. We met that today, this morning. So now that we've done that, you have to be very careful about being on the short side of the dollar, because if you weren't on the short side of the dollar on Thursday, Friday, you're now coming in a little late to the game, right? A little late to the party. The party's been, think about like the party's been going on since like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Now it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and here you are with a 12 pack of beer or a bottle of vodka and saying, "Hey, it's time to party." It might be, but there's a lot of people that are already on their way out the door. So now that we're here, you have to be a little bit careful about that. As we were talking late last week, the relative strength on like all the intraday indicators were suggesting that we were overbought. If you come back, like here, I'll just give you an example. If you go to the euro dollar analysis from last week, okay, this is August 20th. The euro dollar looks like we're developing a wedge, and as long as we hold above the 116.57, 161% extension, the risk may be for a bounce back towards the 117.30 to 50 level. Okay.
Bingo.
There's your wedge in the euro from late last week on the 20th. So that was Friday. So now we were looking for a move down or up to 117.20, 117.40. And if you were here on Friday, I said, hey, resistance in the euro. This is from Friday. Resistance in the euro would be 116.90, and then we discussed that it could go up to 117.40. So 117.40 in the euro dollar almost got hit. Now we're at this is the wedge high and also 50% retracement. So now that we're nudging ourselves up against there, you got to be really careful, like with dollar shorts. You got the euros recovered. It's worked off all of its oversold conditions. We were very divergent down there. There was 127% extension. We hit it. We bounced. So now that now that we're here, the question is, do you go back and buy the dollars right now? I think that, or get long dollars again. I think the dollar is at a place where if you want to be long, and then this depends on how you want to play Jackson Hole. Right. I'm going to give you a little bit of
When is that, Thursday, Blake?
Well, you're going to start getting comments actually Wednesday. So now that it's virtual, it's going to be really interesting to see. Jackson Hole was one of those events. Everybody, whether it's Fed governors, or you got Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, or whatever figureheads is from the financial industry, they were all there. So they would be walking, talking to each other, and reporters would grab one of them, and so you get these headlines sporadically that would come out. Now it's a virtual event, and I don't know how it's going to work. I mean, but I'm assuming that you have these regional governors that are going to release statements about how they feel about tapering and the economy, and their opinions. And so
And then Paul's keynote speaker, right?
But his speech is on Friday.
Oh,
so
okay.
his speech is going to be on Friday at I think it's at 10 in the morning Eastern. So it's weird. Jackson Hole was one of those situations where you just kind of plug yourself into Bloomberg or CNBC and kind of watch for a few days, starting on Wednesday afternoon, people would start trickling in, and you'd, get comments from people randomly. But as a virtual event, how do you do that? I don't know. My assumption is we are going to get, the Fed governors, especially Fed governors, and I use them as an example because a lot of them are non-voters, or even if they're voters, that they want to make sure that they get their opinions out there to the market. So how it happens on a, virtually, I don't know. I used to really enjoy the Jackson Hole events, because I could, sit there and wait for like some headlines to come out and you'd get the market that would react. Now it's like, I don't really know, how that's going to be the case.
Hey, Blake, do
But
you know if there's going to be a vote on the infrastructure bill this week? I think that may affect the tone and some of the content of what
I
the
don't
Fed
know.
governors say.
I don't know.
I mean, with this mess in Afghanistan, I don't even hear them talking about when they're going to do a vote on this. So I was
Yeah,
curious.
I really, I'm not too
Okay.
sure about that. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good question though. Yeah, and I'll look for those answers today, as I'm,
All right.
after the market opens. But let's talk a little bit about the yen, because you mentioned the yen and what the yen's been doing. So the yen we talked about last week, and before this wedge started to develop, that we would get this triangle, this wedge, this consolidation. It's kind of breaking higher. But I didn't catch your opinion because I was like in the middle of sending out some messages, Dale.
Yeah.
I didn't get your opinion of what you thought the dollar yen was going to do here.
The weekly, it looks like it could rally one more time to above 111. You see how it has a 2 drive formation up there, that maybe there's one more shot up there and one more shot up in yield with the indexes blowing off.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I haven't had a really good read on the dollar yen
Yeah.
as of recently, but I've had a really good read on the yen pairs. So
Yeah.
the difference for me has been, shorting the euro yen.
Yeah.
And I didn't make as much as I should have, but shorting the euro yen. But what I was really short, for the last couple of weeks was the Aussie yen. The Aussie yen was a great short up here, staying below the 200-day moving average. And so I think I shorted it, not last Friday, but the Friday before last. So I was short up here. And then I got out of the Aussie yen as we hit the support here, because we'd been talking about it hitting the support. I did not expect it to overshoot. I didn't expect it to break below 79, to be honest. So now, but if you look at like some of these yen pairs, and this is why I would be a little hesitant about selling yen. So for those of you that are out there looking at the dollar yen thinking, okay, well, I'm going to sell some yen and, buy dollar yen or these yen pairs and expect them to move higher. Here's where you have to be a little careful. And this is where you have to use some cross rate analysis. And that's why I love looking at cross rate analysis, because it really helps me find out how I want to approach, like in this example against the dollar yen. We are nudging up against the 50-day moving average. Notice that is that's actually been a little bit of a struggle for a lot of currencies, not just the dollar yen, for a lot of dollar pairs. So the dollar yen's like knocking its head up against the 50-day moving average. But take a look at like the euro yen, and we're going to work our way down here. This is the euro yen, and this was a great short when it came out of the triangle formation. I saw way too many people chasing this thing lower last week. A lot of people got caught short here. I watched most of financial Twitter get short euro yen and talk about how it's going to hell in a handbasket. But I think we're just in this bearish channel. Okay. But the one thing you should note regarding the euro yen, and let's just go over to like a monthly chart. I'm just going to share this with you really quick. Okay. This is a, what is that, 11-year trend line?
Yeah.
It's a big one, right? I do always keep this in mind as, let me grab the tip of that. All right. Shit. Sorry. Shoot. That's what I meant to say. I hate it when I do that. Okay, there it is. So this trend line right here is what, 11, 12 years old. Okay. And notice how we're just kind of pivoting around it. It's really important because it's, when you're looking at monthly or weekly trend lines, to be above or below one by like 100 pips is you're basically within the vicinity. It's not like I don't look at those as being exact, an exact science type of thing. So I know that this is a big level here. But I think the euro yen is playing people on both sides, because it's catching people shorting trading breakdowns. And then people that, try to chase this thing higher for a breakout are probably going to find themselves on the wrong side of the market as well. You have to look at the overarching, whatever the overarching, in my opinion, formation is currently. And right now, I think it's just a bearish channel. So we're up against the 618 retracement, also previous support, acting as current resistance, 618 retracement. So you got like triple confluence up here. So you got euro yen up against major resistance. You got sterling yen, let's go back to the daily chart here. So the sterling yen, this is pushing right up against some resistance as well. This 151.50 level is going to be pretty strong. Aussie yen, previous support, that's acting as current resistance. Kiwi yen, previous support here. Let me remove this really quick. So previous support here, also acting as current resistance. Canadian yen, if you guys don't remember from Thursday, well, if you're in the ForexAnalytix community, I went long Canadian yen at like 85 and change because we have a big head and shoulder pattern. This is our edge chart of the day, middle of the week or beginning of the week last week when we were up here. Okay. And we broke through this trend line. I said, hey, this looks like we're going to be developing a big head and shoulder pattern. Well, we tested the neckline on Thursday, Friday. So we're bouncing off of that. So this is a big head and shoulder pattern. And to be completely frank with you guys here, I think it's still got a couple days, at least a couple of days, maybe a week or two of still building out the right hand shoulder to give it symmetry. So, the Canadian yen might bounce to 87, back down to 85, but I think this is going to be overall, we're still, oops, shoot, didn't mean to do that. Overall, we're still, building out this consolidation pattern right around here. So anyway, I would be keeping a really close eye on on these yen pairs because I think they've pushed up against resistance. Actually, what I should do with the dollar, with the Canadian yen, that's a 50% retracement, right? It is. So 50% retracement, previous support, current resistance, all sorts of resistance right here. So, you got the Canadian yen, Euro yen, Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, all up against resistance. So if you're out there trying to buy the dollar yen, it's going to be a bit of a struggle, as you got all these other yen pairs up against resistance. And Dale's right. I think the yen is actually more influenced by yields right now. So, you got a bounce back in yields overnight, but now they're starting to turn a little lower, like in the 10-year. So if they're starting to turn a little lower, it's going to weigh on not only the dollar yen, but also other yen pairs as well. So just a little food for thought. So, and one of the other things I want to leave you guys with is you remember the yen pairs are going to be acting a little bit different. And same with the Swiss. The Swiss and the yen are going to act a little bit more different than other currencies. We're going to, they are going to be more influenced by yields. And so you use the rest of the dollar pairs a little differently or analyze them a little differently. I'm going to just give you a little bit of analysis from ForexAnalytix really quick, just because if you're looking at the dollar Canadian, the dollar Mexican peso, this is one of those currencies that I played on the long side middle of the week last week from 20. That was a great
trade. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was a really nice, but I didn't expect it to break above 2025, right? I didn't expect that to happen. I expected us to trade up to the range highs, and it was awesome. Because the dollar Mexican peso is one of my more favorite currencies to trade because of the volatility we get and what it pays you. Obviously, you got to, manage your risk carefully too, because you don't want it moving against you. But I didn't expect it to break out, and it did break out. So now that it broke out, this is very bullish that we broke out of this. This is basically a 2-month range. Okay. Yep. So now that we're outside of that 2-month range, pullback should be bought down to 2025 or whatever, 2020. we're only getting pullbacks to like the 24% retracement, which is very shallow, which means it's very bullish. So be really careful with this currency pair. And one of the reasons why I think this is so important is these emerging market currencies are very much risk assessing type of currencies. And when you have such weak, when the peso is so weak, that's a fragile environment for risk in general, meaning stocks are vulnerable at this point. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for being here with myself and Dale. Steve, Stelios are on holiday. Obviously, Ryan's still on holiday as well. He's still out in the woods. I expect him back here over the next couple of days. So we'll have him joining us again here on the Morning Edge. And then Stelios and Steve are on some Greek islands in the middle of the Cyclades somewhere, enjoying as they should. Right, Dale? I'm going to go sit outside in the desert. I'm going to go hang out with my rocks outside. I can't wait to. So,
a couple of veterans like us can hold down the ship.
That's right. That's right. And remember, guys, visit our webinar sponsors. Oops, sorry, I'm going to take our webinar sponsors and visit Forest Park FX. I have 2 checks of cashback rebates. I'm now getting, which is awesome. When I jumped from JP Morgan, after finishing up with Gelos and trading with Forest Park, this is the first time, and I never had cashback rebates the last 5 years. We've been
nice.
It's really cool. It
goes into the vacation fund, or
it's awesome. But now I've got these checks, and I actually have to take them to the bank and cash them. That's been a first for a while. Anyway, if you want to get a hold of Forest Park FX and figure out how to do that, and if you're outside of the US, you end up getting paid back in PayPal or whatever. Just email them or send them email them or chat with them on Skype here. And you can find them on the ForexAnalytix sponsored tab on our website. So, and make sure you let them know that we sent you. All right, guys, have a great interview, Dale. Thanks for
thank you, Blake,
buddy. All right,
good hunting, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, Nargis, I'm going to make you a panelist. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time to do that. I keep clicking it. There we go. Welcome back, Nargis. How are you? Looking forward to seeing all your targets and everything. You're an excellent technician. Hello, Nargis.
Hi, good morning, Dale. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Interesting juncture we're at in the dog days of summer. So I know that you had numbers, all the way up here. And, why don't you share your screen and we can take a look at whether, we're reaching some type of inflection point, or it's just things keep going on forever in the same direction.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I have that. It's showing
some notes.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So last when we talked around in starting of May, we said we have a target of 4489 for the S&P in terms of the cycle target, right? And we are almost there. XPX was like less than 8 points away from this number.
Yeah.
And
we got to what, 80 and a half or something like that?
80 and a half.
And that was a big pullback. So let me ask you, when you had that big pullback and it was, 40, half a point away, 40 points, 4 points away from your target. Did you think that might have been it before it came back later in the week?
Actually, generally, I go by the range. It doesn't have to be exactly that number. So the moment it entered 43.57, I started looking at, that, within 50%, within 25%, how it would react. So it actually went all the way short of 8 points.
Yes.
And from there it crapped, and it came back again to the offset number 43.57. And by the time, XPX is moving in such a tight range that falling, unless it keeps falling, it has a lot of cushion built in, right? So
Okay.
it came in till the previous number 43.57 or so, that area, and then bounced back up. So far I'm still thinking it's a retest of the high. It may get that 44.89 done,
Okay.
and probably we can see from there. So one thing which I noticed is the QQQ, DIA,
Stronger.
IWM,
Oh
all the
yeah,
four. Yeah,
Russell's been very weak. Yeah.
yes. So all the four had come to the their price cycle targets around the same time frame. So it's a confluence in all of the indices. Okay.
Interesting.
But the thing to notice is, let's say QQQ was 361. It overshot a little bit. DIA it 257, and we had XPX 441, and but IWM was the only one which was lagging a little bit than its actual number. Okay, so it's
Okay.
three. So I was thinking that maybe it can get that done. Um, if things wants to move up. One thing, I was looking at, if you remember, the original megaphone. We were, this uh, this
The green line, the red line.
yes. So from here, or did I do it here? Just let me check where I did that. I think that was the, no, I didn't. It's here only. So this was our
Yeah, the throw over.
yeah. So yeah, somewhere here it was our original megaphone,
Mhm.
and we were expecting, okay, it overshot somewhere here, and then probably it come, but it went quite a bit higher, right? From
Yeah.
From the trend lines. So it's somewhere here, and then it did show a reaction here, but then it went all the way here. So I was thinking, like, what's going on, and I found an interesting observation. Now I don't know if it makes sense or not, but it was like, oh my God, for me at that moment. Okay, so I'll just share it with you.
Okay.
So we had this swing here, 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 right?
Hmm.
And what I found is this is not random as such. It may look like why it would do high here, what kind of a high it would do here. So all this is having a relationship. So this was so this move down was 300 points. This was approximately 600 points. This is approximately 1200 points. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, so
So we
347,
could get
630.
24. We could get
Yeah, so
2400.
24, 2500, because it's 347, 630, a little bit, the
Yeah.
exact precise number is that. And the relationship with this swing is, if you do an extension here, this is approximately 1.3 of this retracement, okay? And this is 1.6 of this retracement here, these red lines I've drawn, okay?
Hmm.
And this is add 0.3 to that, it is 1.9 something to that retracement, coming exactly around a price cycle. The number is 44.96. So I had 449, it's 10 points up. So this is giving a good confidence, right? I mean,
Hmm.
all this were bigger pullbacks once it did that um, 0.3 point increments of 0.3 from here. So let's assume it follows the same pattern as of this past three. So we may get 24, 2500, which let's say right here, uh, not further in time, but right here, this comes down, that 2500-ish comes down to retest of this previous high approximately. Okay.
Yeah.
So it comes down to test this, and from here, if you do the same 0.3, it takes us into 5,500 or so here, somewhere here,
Okay.
from here to here. So that's what I thought. Oh my God, I thought this does have relationship. It's not that random as I was thinking, like what happened here, what. So
Oh, so after this pullback, it would take it to 6,500? Is that what you said?
No,
Or
I mean,
5,200?
based 50, 5,000, 5,500 or so.
Okay,
So it would
5,500.
be, yeah, so 1.918 it would be. No, sorry, 2.18 it would be.
Okay,
Yeah, somewhere here,
I could see that.
5,500, 500. Yeah, here. Somewhere in this zone, it will bring it, depending on, exactly
Yeah.
where it does and how much, 2,500 it would do. So,
So I
that,
know someone looking for, maybe that's the first wave down, then a bounce, and then like 2,600 and then 5,500, which is kind of close to what you're talking about.
oh, really? Oh, wow. So, yeah.
Yeah, Peter Goodburn. You ever
Oh,
seen
okay.
his interviews? He's an
No.
Elliott guy.
Oh, really?
Anyway,
Okay, I should see that. Peter
oh, it's
Goodburn.
interesting that you guys from completely different methodology
Yeah,
are coming up with some the same
similar.
technical narrative. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was like, I couldn't sleep the whole night thinking about this, right? That, oh my God, how did I not see this before and all that?
Yeah. It's always
Yeah.
easy in the rear view.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had to go back to my original drawing and see, why. So this was already, pinching in my mind that there is a relationship. What is it? Why did I get so much out of, this
Yeah.
megaphone? Why didn't do what I was thinking it should do or whatever? But it does make sense. It is a relationship.
Okay. Yeah, very interesting megaphone. Yeah. And yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so as I was saying that all the four came to a confluence, and we did got a pullback, but right now it's a retest of the high, and it may get done that 4489 or to whatever that number is coming to,
Yeah.
and 4557 is the one where I would say that the price cycle has reset it to higher. 7,570. So in future, even let's say it hits 4557 and then it craps and it goes to, whatever, we have a big market correction and everything like 2020, but the future is secure. If not for us, for our children, it will come back to 7,000, 500, 70 or 7,600 approximately. So that's the number I'm looking for it to take out. Not sure if
7,600 take out,
yes,
you mean to the upside longer term after we're done with
longer
this?
term, yeah, above
Yeah, okay.
4557.
Okay.
Yes,
All
so
right.
from here, if we go here and go here, and from this 5500, even if we come back here, the 7500 or 7600 is almost a guarantee. I mean, almost word is there. Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, I just want to do the catch the cycle we're in, and it's nice to have an overview of what could happen 10 years from now, but we get paid with what happens 10
right.
minutes, 10 days,
10 minutes. Yes.
10 weeks from
Yeah.
now.
The
Yeah.
only thing is that, is this a permanent shift, or these things are kind of, current in time kind of things, right? These swings which are very fast in time and price. So would these be equal, right? Like, for example, the bear market would be a few years, but has the time reduced to few weeks to a couple, a year
Yeah,
or so?
like what happened
What
with
happened,
COVID.
yeah, so what's
Yeah.
happening from the 2018ish to now? Would that be the similar pattern in terms of time versus the number price? That
Right.
we need to see whether it's a shift in some time, or
Okay.
so that's what I was looking at, and had noted down here that all the four indices had come to a confluence, and from here, we need to see where they want to go, whether they want to do some excess to mark the price higher, or we see some correction down into these areas, and from here go up and do excess. So I was looking to see when the excess would come, right away from 4489 area, or it would do some excess and then do some pullback, or keep
Yeah.
going until I don't know, excess could, because if it is already at 450 SPY, then 500 is like an even number, right? The people talk about the natural attractions, and generally these works in a quarter very well. Like if it is 100, then 25, 50, 75, and then 100. So we already have 50, 450. We did 447 as the all-time high. So 450 we have, then the next two quarters, 1/4 is remaining, right? So 475 and 500. So so that's what I'm thinking. That does it like to do that whole nice number and then do something,
Right.
or from here go down and then do that whole nice number.
Okay.
So that was one thing, attracting to the next hundreds.
Okay.
And yeah,
Good
and one of
stuff.
yeah. So I get a lot asked about, Amazon, like why everybody
Oh,
is moving and Amazon is not moving.
yeah.
And that keeps going
That's what,
down.
yeah, and it had no impact, hardly any impact on the cues.
Yeah, no impact on the Qs. Tesla is also, just in range, not doing anything.
Yeah,
Same with Amazon.
Microsoft. It's mainly Microsoft
It's
that's holding
it's
it up.
mainly Microsoft. And I do feel that it is stretched a lot, and that 312 area or 2325 area should act as a good resistance for it, to the fact that it has I mean, its monthly RSI is 95
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Though the traditional indicators are not acting as much of a resistance as of now, but sometime it has to give, and I feel this area is a good area for it to,
Has Apple topped, Nargis?
it hasn't hit 169 as of yet. That
Okay,
150,
so you're still
that
looking for
151 is still causing an issue for it, not letting it go anywhere till
right.
now. Here, this
Yeah.
so this consolidation, if it wants to go higher, then it will just poke above somewhere here. The good thing is, QQQ and SPY keeps moving, and this couple of them, 2-3 stocks, they are just sitting there. At least Apple is not, not going down or anything. It's holding everything there. Amazon, this 3137 area has been a support for a very long time. It's, let me remove this. It's not easy to see.
So it's due for a bounce here.
Yeah, so it's that's what I was thinking, that it didn't go all the way to 3137 and here, so probably it's on a good weekly support, and probably could bounce from here to any of this, and it needs to get out of this congestion to hit that 4097 to 4400. So Amazon and XPX has the same path. Their numbers are almost the same, and they have been reacting to the similar areas. So 3752, 3137. So I'm thinking, it will, whatever XPX did around those numbers, Amazon should also follow that. But we will see if it actually does exactly like that, or delays
Okay.
that.
All right.
But if it wants to fall back here, then this late 2800s, 2915 is where it could fall back to, and from here we could bounce again. This congestion area needs to resolve. It is quite a bit oversold, Amazon, so it is due for a bounce. I don't know where it is trading right now in pre-market. This
Yeah,
this
me
is not,
either.
I don't think this is right, 31.99. It must be higher because market is gapping up.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it bounces over here and say above 33, it needs above 33.65, but above 33.50 is good for about 21 day MA to, go
Okay.
32.40. 32.37 is where I would be looking. If it stabilizes above that, we would think a temporary reversal to recoup or recover some of the technicals,
Yeah, one
technical
of our
repair.
attendees is saying it's going to open at 32.14. That's the
32.14.
pre-market.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 32.37, it needs to close above it, and then we can see a little bit run up. But I think there is a lot of talks going on. We had
So I'm going to ask you a question that
yes.
I've asked everybody, and no one really gives me an answer because they
Sure.
don't want it. All right, so look at the IWM, the Russell, which hasn't gone anywhere since March.
Yes.
Okay, is that distribution or consolidation?
In my opinion, it is a consolidation.
Okay, after the big move up.
I think IWM is not done yet. Um, but again, the main thing is how will XPX and IWM have a straight relationship, or it's going to be opposite? Meaning,
Okay, so if SPX starts going down, people will rotate into IWM.
yes,
That's what
that
you
can
think?
happen. Yeah, that can happen. Or if the whole market is tanking, then this could, this was the breakout, right?
Right.
So this could easily come down here and from there go. So that would resolve the consolidation to the downside.
Well,
But
then it was distribution.
yeah, then it would be
All right,
distribution.
consolidation does not resolve to the downside.
Yes. So that's what I was saying. If this is what I was thinking is it will go up. So it was a consolidation.
Right.
But if it reacts to the general market and everyone is moving down, then that would come down to that support.
Okay. So we don't know what it is until we get direction here.
Yeah. So it is completely.
I bet there are some guys that do volume and all kinds of different studies that could tell you whether or not it's consolidation or distribution.
The reason I said, Dale, it's a little bit of consolidation because see, it came down, it has been weak, but it did not break this July end of this July week of low, right?
No,
so I'm thinking it wants this ABC to go up.
All right. I'd be
That's
surprised to see it get over this week over like
yes.
230.
Once it gets over 225, that's where it was having a where it was having a issue. This way, then we know that yes, it definitely wants higher.
Are you following gold with the cycles that you're seeing in?
Yes. Gold. Yes. Gold. Everything has. Why doesn't it? Yes, so gold also came to the support. Remember when it suddenly fell last week, Sunday?
Sunday
yes,
night.
so 1681 was the price level support, and it came exactly to that. I think it did 2 point lower, but not lower than this. This was 1673 and this came to 1679, and 1681 was my level. From there, we said we'll go long, and we actually took long from there. And let's see if this ABC also resolves to the upside and it stays. Currently, it is just under 1800, right?
Yeah.
1880, 1885 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1875 or 1865, I don't remember. One of those numbers. It's right here currently, right? Let's see. Why don't we look at? Why is it showing like? Oh, because it is not gold. Yeah.
Do you have any numbers to the upside that you think it could
yes,
get to? Like
I had printed out the number 2200, the immediate, the first closest number to it, and 2700 was the next. The bigger number extension was price cycle wise coming was also 3700 for me, but that seems very far away at 1800. So but those are the numbers. So even gold had made a big move, so a lot of consolidation, and as long as it's above this cluster, it still has a trajectory to upside.
Yeah.
At least that 2100, 2200, it should not have an issue above 1750. So that's what
Another
I'm thinking.
clear, concise, and insightful technical rundown by Nargis Motorola.
Motorwala.
Motorola, not
Yeah.
Motorola.
Oh, no, Motorola.
You don't want to be Motorola.
I know,
They're
not in this
defunct,
time.
right?
See,
Motorola. Huh?
Motorwala is someone which Wala is someone having lots of that whatever, right, or coming from that. So motor is like lots of cars. I would like to be like the today's EVs, Teslas, and
Okay.
all that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you did give us lots of great looks. So the Moda part of it was definitely in this interview. I really appreciate you and your
Yeah.
work, Nargis, and you
Thank you.
coming in and you're giving nature here and Twitter, and you retweet even some of my junk, and
No,
really,
Dale. I'm
I,
really bad at retweeting. I'll get better at it.
and I really, really glad that our paths crossed on FinTwit,
Yes,
and because
definitely.
I
Yeah.
always look forward to your presentations.
Thank you, Dale. Thank you for having me.
So my trading warrior sister, until next time,
Yes,
may
sure.
tips just rain down upon you, your family, and all the people you work with.
Yeah. So just let's see if
Yeah,
these things work out as it is has been working out the past 3-4 times.
yeah,
So let's a little bit cautious going into this zone and see what it does.
well spoken, and take it to heart. So thank you very much, Nargis. I
Thank
appreciate what you showed us today, and I follow what you're doing, and always feel free to tweet in my stream with your ideas to keep everyone updated. It's great
Sure.
content,
Thank you,
and
Dale.
good luck. Okay, I'm not against luck either.
Yes, definitely. Luck is
Uh,
part of the game, Dale.
yeah,
We do our
yeah,
hard work and everything, and then
yeah,
the universe needs to be with us.
yeah. Yeah. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
How
Thank you.
about that? All right. Thank
Yeah,
you, everyone.
definitely.
That's Nargis, and you could follow her on Twitter. If you have any questions about this interview, if you're watching it live or you see the video later, just DM her, follow her at Nargis, Nargis, and secret agent, Nargis 007. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. All right, my trading warrior sister. Thank you
Yeah. Have a
again.
great day, everyone.
All right. Thank you. And
Thank you.
everyone else, thanks. People are thanking you. Always a great listening to you from Laura and Monica. And you could join Blake for the Morning Edge in about 18 minutes. And I'll see everyone tomorrow for Turnaround Tuesday. Shayna Tova, Mira. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.